Hey everybody, and welcome to Robots vs. Vampires. I'm Adrian Smith, and I'm so pumped for today's story.
I'm Julia Jones.
Your sci-fi maven. We're going deep into a world
That's right.
where, normal teenage drama meets the supernatural.
It's gonna be a wild ride.
Get ready.
I am so ready.
Okay, so let's, set the scene right. We've got this group of high schoolers.
Yeah.
The type of kids who just, don't quite fit in.
Oh, yeah.
They head out on this camping trip.
Classic.
Hoping to, connect and make some memories,
Right. The usual.
Yeah. But
Oh,
things take a seriously dark turn.
Uh-oh.
Imagine this. You're in the woods.
Okay.
You're around the campfire.
There.
Under the stars, sharing ghost stories.
Okay.
And then a blood-curdling scream
Oh.
just, shatters the peace.
This is like a classic horror movie setup, right?
It is.
You think it's gonna be one thing and then bam.
Right.
Yeah,
and in this case,
total misdirect.
the horror has fangs. Yeah, the teens stumble upon this gruesome scene.
Okay.
A hiker totally wounded by vampires.
Vampires. Talk about a camping trip gone wrong.
Yeah, they barely escape.
Oh, my God.
Running through the dark woods.
Oh, it's pounding.
Adrenaline pumping.
I bet.
So they finally make it back to their campsite as dawn breaks.
Okay.
They think they've outrun this nightmare, right?
Right.
But then one of them, Benji, he's like the quiet, artistic one.
Okay.
He notices something strange about the moon.
What's that?
Instead of that, silvery glow,
Yeah.
it's bathed in this, eerie, blood-red light.
Ooh, that blood moon imagery, that is powerful.
It is.
So much symbolism, chaos and change and vampires.
Yeah.
A time of heightened power.
Wow.
I don't know. Have you ever, felt a shift in energy during a full moon?
I don't know, maybe.
Yeah, some people really do.
So as this, blood-red moonlight washes over them,
Yeah.
each of the teens feel this, surge of energy.
Whoa.
This strange power coursing through their veins.
Oh, no.
They can see the fear, the confusion,
Yeah.
and a dawning realization in each other's eyes.
Oh.
They survive the attack, but they're not the same.
They've been changed.
They've been changed.
Oh, think about that for a second.
I know.
I mean, they encountered these terrifying creatures,
Yeah,
and now somehow they're becoming like them.
that's scary.
It is, but it's also this powerful metaphor, right?
Mm-hmm.
For how trauma can transform us
Yeah,
in ways we don't expect.
totally. And can't control.
So at first they try to deny it.
Right.
They try to run,
Of course.
get back to civilization,
Yeah.
to anything familiar.
Makes sense.
But the sun,
The sun.
which should be a source of comfort,
Yeah.
becomes their enemy.
Oh, no.
Daylight weakens them, burns them.
That vulnerability to sunlight,
Yeah,
it's so classic.
it is.
Really reinforces that they are creatures of the night,
Yeah.
bound to the darkness.
And as dusk approaches,
Oh.
they feel that strange power returning.
Jess, who's always been clumsy,
Yeah.
is suddenly moving with incredible grace and speed.
Wow.
Riley, the gamer, with quick reflexes,
Yeah.
becomes even faster, almost blurring.
Whoa.
Usually anxious and nervous,
Right.
starts having premonitions,
Mhm.
sensing danger before it happens.
Oh, wait.
And Benji, the artist,
Yeah.
he begins to perceive details, movements,
Okay.
things no human should be able to see.
So they all have different powers.
Yeah.
But it's all heightened senses or abilities.
Yeah.
It's fascinating.
They all have different.
They're both a gift and a curse, right?
Yeah.
Like a dark perversion of their human potential.
True.
They're stronger, faster, more aware than ever.
I know.
But at what cost? It makes you think about trade-offs.
Yeah.
The choices we make
Yeah.
that have unexpected consequences.
No.
Have you ever felt like you had to sacrifice a part of yourself to
Okay.
achieve something?
Maybe.
Yeah, it's tough.
So they come to grips with the horrifying truth. They're becoming vampires, bound to the very creatures that attack them.
What a nightmare.
Their camping trip
I know.
has turned into this terrifying, twisted initiation.
They're trapped.
They're trapped in this nightmare together with no way out.
Wow. So what happens next?
Their hidden campsite becomes their training ground.
Oh, so they're embracing it?
Well, they're pushing their limits,
Yep.
testing their newfound strength and speed,
Right.
learning to control these strange, unsettling abilities.
That makes sense. I mean, they have to.
But even as they train,
Yeah.
there's this constant sense of dread.
Oh.
Like unseen eyes are watching their every move.
That's creepy.
They're not just dealing with the internal struggle of their transformation.
Okay.
but also this external threat
Oh, wow.
lurking in the shadows.
That adds a whole other layer to the story, doesn't it?
It does.
So they're not only dealing with becoming something they don't understand,
Yeah.
but they're also being hunted
Yeah.
by something they don't know.
Wow. It's a constant state of anxiety, never knowing who or what is out there.
Do you ever get that feeling?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Like you're being watched?
Yeah.
Like something's out there?
Yeah.
Just beyond your perception?
Yeah.
Okay, so picture this.
Okay.
It's another night,
Yeah.
bathed in the eerie glow of that blood-red moon.
Spooky.
The Watchers, the ones who've been lurking in the shadows,
Oh.
they finally reveal themselves.
Who are they?
But these aren't the feral, monstrous vampires they first encountered.
Okay.
These are older, more powerful vampires,
Oh.
and they have an offer for the teens.
This is a turning point, isn't it?
It is a major one.
It's not just about survival anymore.
Nope.
It's about being drawn into this larger conflict,
Right.
this hidden world of ancient power.
And terrifying choices.
Imagine being a teenager,
I know.
being given this ultimatum,
Yeah.
power and belonging within the vampire world,
Okay.
or utter destruction.
That's intense.
The weight of that decision.
I
Knowing your choice will shape not only your destiny,
Yeah.
but the destinies of your friends.
That's a lot to bear.
It is a lot to bear.
And they're not the same carefree kids who went camping anymore,
Something
right?
have changed.
They've been through so much
Yeah,
fear and violence. They're bound together by this shared terrifying experience.
I know it's a lot.
The question is, what path will they choose?
I don't know.
Will they embrace the darkness
It's a tough one.
or fight for their humanity?
I'll have to wait and see.
I can't wait to find out. That offer from the older vampires, it's such a power play.
Total power move.
It really preys on their insecurities, you know?
Yeah, like that need to belong, that fear of being alone.
Especially when you already feel like an outsider,
Exactly.
which they did.
Right. And remember, these were kids who already felt like they didn't fit in
Oh, yeah.
even before all this happened.
Totally.
And now they're dealing with these crazy powers,
I know.
these urges they don't understand.
And they're being hunted.
Yeah, it's like everything is stacked against them.
And then these powerful vampires come along
Right.
and offer acceptance
Yeah.
and power
It would be so tempting.
to just say yes.
Oh, yeah, especially when the alternative is being destroyed.
Exactly.
It's not just about survival either.
Right.
They're being offered real power,
That's right.
the kind of power that could let them fight back,
Oh, yeah.
maybe even get revenge.
Ooh, revenge is powerful.
It is.
I mean, especially for teenagers who often feel so powerless,
Yeah,
you know, in regular life.
totally.
It's like they're going from being the hunted
Yeah.
to the hunters.
But it's a dangerous game
It is a dangerous game.
because joining these vampires
Right.
means embracing this whole new way of life.
Yeah, with its own rules, its own moral code.
You know what I mean?
Totally.
Yeah.
And it's not just a physical transformation, it's
Right.
an ethical one.
Yeah.
I mean, becoming a vampire
Uh-huh.
means feeding on humans,
Right.
turning against your own kind.
Yeah.
Everything you've ever known.
Wherever you draw the line.
Right. What are you willing to sacrifice
Yeah.
for power and belonging?
I don't know. It's a tough one. And they're just kids.
I know. How are they supposed to make a decision like that?
I know. It's impossible.
They're stuck between a rock and a hard place. Like
Yeah.
on one side, there's the familiar world they've always known, but a
Yeah.
world that now sees them as monsters.
True.
And on the other side,
Yeah.
there's this alluring dark world,
Yeah.
promising acceptance and power, but
Right.
at a terrible cost.
It's that classic dilemma, isn't it?
Oh, totally.
Conformity versus individuality.
Do you conform to this new world?
Right.
Follow the rules even if they go against everything you believe in.
Or do you try to forge your own path?
Yeah, even if it means danger and isolation.
It's something we all deal with in different ways,
Well,
right?
yeah, for sure.
Maybe not with vampires,
Right.
but definitely with pressures and expectations.
Totally, like from society, our families, even ourselves.
So what do? What do you think?
Well, that's the cliffhanger.
I know.
The story leaves us with, but it's so clever.
It is.
Because it makes us ask those same questions.
It does.
It's not just their story anymore.
It's ours.
What would you do in that situation?
Honestly, I'm not sure I could handle that kind of pressure.
It's intense, right?
Yeah. Would I embrace the darkness, knowing the power it could bring?
I don't know, would you?
Or would I fight for my humanity, even if it meant facing impossible odds?
Tough choices.
It's a question that sticks with you
It does.
long after you finish the story.
I think that's the beauty of speculative fiction.
What do you mean?
It lets us explore these big questions about good and evil,
Right.
power and responsibility.
In a safe, imaginative space.
Exactly.
It makes you think about your own values.
Without the real-life consequences.
It's not just about finding the right answer.
No, it's about the process.
Yeah.
Wrestling with the questions.
Considering different perspectives.
And realizing there's no easy solution.
So for our teenage vampire survivors,
Yeah.
they're facing an impossible choice.
They are.
A choice that will shape not only their lives,
Right.
but their very souls.
That's big stakes.
We don't get a resolution in this story,
I know.
but the journey itself
Yeah.
is so powerful.
It really is.
It forces us to confront our own assumptions
Totally.
about good and evil,
Yeah.
power and responsibility.
What does it mean to be human?
Yeah, what are the boundaries of our own morality?
It's a story that makes you think
It really does.
about those gray areas.
Yeah.
Try to ignore. You know, it's interesting how this story plays with our ideas about vampires.
How so?
We usually think of them as these solitary creatures, you know?
Right, lurking in the shadows.
Yeah, brooding.
Yeah.
But here
Sure.
we see a potential for community,
Yeah.
a sense of belonging in this vampire world.
It's like they're being offered a chance to join a secret society.
Right, with its own hierarchy, its own rules.
Its own allure. It makes you think, what does that society look like?
Right.
Is it all about power and domination? Or is there something more to it?
I think it speaks to this theme of identity that runs through the story.
Yeah.
They're not just figuring out what it means to be a vampire.
Yeah.
They're figuring out who they are,
Yeah.
as individuals. It's like their whole world has been flipped upside down.
Totally.
They're trying to find their place in all this chaos.
Yeah. It's like that feeling when you're a teenager
Exactly.
and everything feels so intense and confusing.
Right.
Trying to figure out where you fit in, who you are, what you believe in.
But times 1,000.
Right.
Because the stakes are so much higher.
Yeah.
It's not just about fitting in with the cool kids.
Right. Or going to prom.
It's about life or death.
Yeah.
It's about immense power.
And losing your humanity.
Right. Adolescence on steroids.
Wow.
And the story doesn't give us any answers.
No, it leaves us hanging,
It does.
wondering what choices they'll make.
How their journey will unfold.
That's the beauty of it, though, right?
It is.
Makes us engage with those big questions.
About good and evil.
Right.
Power and responsibility.
And what it means to be human.
Exactly.
So what's the takeaway here for our listeners?
Ooh, that's a good question.
What do you hope they'll walk away with?
I think even in the darkest situations, even when faced with impossible choices, there's always hope.
There is.
There's potential for resistance.
Yeah.
For finding your own path, for holding on to your values.
I like that.
And sometimes that path is messy and unpredictable.
Yeah.
But it's up to us to choose
That's a good point.
how we navigate the darkness.
And for me, it's also a reminder of the power of stories.
Oh, totally.
Stories like this let us explore difficult themes,
Yeah.
challenge our assumptions, expand our understanding of the world.
And ourselves.
Yeah, and they remind us that even when we're afraid and facing uncertainty,
Yeah.
there's always a possibility for connection,
Yeah.
for finding meaning and purpose.
And a little fun along the way.
Exactly. So we've reached the end of our deep dive into this vampire tale.
We have.
But remember, listeners,
Yeah.
the world is full of stories waiting to be told.
Keep exploring, keep questioning, keep imagining.
And join us next time on Robots vs. Vampires
Right here.
for another thrilling adventure.
I can't wait.
Until then, stay curious, stay engaged, and as always, stay awesome.
Bye, everyone.